Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're kind of stepping back from the day-to-day market noise.
Yeah, looking bigger picture.
Exactly. We're digging into those really massive global patterns, the ones that, ultimately shape the price and availability of important stuff, commodities.
Things we use every day.
Right. And our mission today is to unpack this really quite amazing forecast from Jim Roemer. He's a big name in connecting global weather to, well, agricultural market results.
Absolutely. It's such a critical connection. I mean, think about markets like sugar or wheat. They can swing wildly based on supply, right?
For sure.
And the puzzle we're tackling is how this specific forecast, this predicted negative Indian dipole happening alongside a weak La Nina, how that combination basically set the stage for, well, for market stability in a few key places.
Okay, hold on. Negative Indian dipole, weak La Nina. That sounds pretty technical straight out of gate. For those of us maybe not tracking ocean temps daily, what does that pairing actually mean?
Right, fair question. It's really about how they work together. That's the important bit. So the Indian dipole, it's basically measuring temperature differences across the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
When it's negative, like Romer predicted, warm water kind of gets pushed eastward. Now, at the same time, you've got this weak La Nina already doing its thing in the Pacific, affecting weather patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the negative IOD, the dipole,
Yeah.
as sort of turbocharging the weak La Nina system. It helps call a whole lot more moisture very reliably over some really key farming regions, places that might otherwise, be a bit dry.
So it's not just any old weather system. It's like a specific booster targeted moisture delivery almost based on that prediction.
Precisely. The forecast was that this specific combo would create unusually good growing conditions.
Okay, so let's talk results. The payoff. What did this actually look like on the ground for farmers, say in Australia or India?
Well, the forecast accuracy was frankly quite incredible. It really pointed towards conditions perfect for big yields. The sources highlight specifically the calls for big wheat crops. For Australia, they're a major global exporter, remember?
Yeah, a huge player.
And also really strong sugar crops coming out of India and Thailand.
Yeah.
Two other massive producers. Getting those kinds of yields right, that's, a huge part of commodity forecasting.
Right. But just getting the yield forecast right, how did that translate into the markets, the financial side? Because, tons of supply doesn't automatically mean low prices if demand is through the roof, right?
That's the crucial link.
Right.
This is where you connect the weather science to the dollars and cents, those large yields you mentioned, all that extra grain from Australia,
Yeah.
the sugar from India and Thailand.
Yeah.
It created this big surge in supply.
More than expected.
Yeah, significantly more than maybe the market was initially pricing in. So this global flood of supply just wiped out any immediate worries about shortages.
Oh.
That big surplus, it really played a major role in stopping prices from shooting up. It kept the bear market in place for some commodities like sugar and wheat, even if there were other issues, maybe political things happening elsewhere. It was that predictable, stable supply that kept pushing prices down,
Right.
or at least kept them from rising.
Wow. It's actually quite a stark example, isn't it? How really specific, almost niche weather knowledge can directly sway these huge billion-dollar global markets.
Definitely.
The price of basics like flour and sugar really being decided way up there in the atmosphere.
It really is. And I think the key thing for you, the listener, to take away is that understanding these sort of subtle interactions between things like the Indian dipole and La Nina,
Yeah.
it's not just abstract science. It's probably
Yeah.
the best tool we have for actually predicting global commodity supply and, economic stability that comes with it.
So maybe something to think about as we wrap up. Consider this. The next time you see the price of sugar or flour, what you're really seeing is the end result of this like atmospheric handshake between two giant ocean systems thousands of miles away.
Mm-hmm. Makes you realize just how interconnected everything is.
Yeah, how tightly linked regions across the globe are by these massive invisible weather drivers. Really fascinating stuff.